Welcome back in, y'all. We are Black Girls Talking TV, where we bring the group chat to life and discuss all your favorite TV shows. Today, we are covering Fantasy Suites, Bachelor Nation. And so, if you aren't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you can stay tuned to all of our recaps. I am Victoria. I am a psychologist in New York and Illinois.
And I'm Kamaria. I'm an attorney in the DC area and a pop culture writer. So let's get into this episode. What did you think?
Yeah, I mean, we could just start off with Zoe because she went home. You called it.
Yeah, like I didn't see her going far. I just didn't. She seems great, but it just was giving, how like something in the back of your head with a guy, like something is off with the vibe, and you're like, he's saying all the things and doing all the things, but it's just something's not right. You feel like he's not interested. It's like that level of gut is what I felt about her and him. It was just like not there. Similar with Serafina,
Yeah.
like something about it was not there. I don't know what it was. But yeah, I knew that was gonna be the one that went home this week.
Yeah, something I noticed on their date though, well, a few things. One, she's never reassured him of her feelings. And so I wonder how much that has contributed to how much they've been able to like go a little bit deeper, even though I feel like they have like some of the more deeper conversations, right? Because they kind of the thing that they link on is their childhood experiences.
Mm-hmm.
They never did the whole like, I'm really liking you, I'm really falling for you. Like that never came out of Zoe's
Yeah.
mouth or Greg's mouth, right? But Juliana and Litia, like they have said multiple times at this point, I'm starting to fall in
Mm-hmm.
love with you, right? Or I'm seeing a future with you. And that's something that that was language Zoe was never kind of walking down. And I think in this episode, I realized she wanted the reassurance first,
Mm-hmm.
especially after not getting a one-on-one date.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I could see that. Something also makes me feel like she was really looking um I don't want to say transactional, but like you do this, this happens. You do this, that happens. You keep going for it. You make a guy, fall for you, that sort of thing. Sort of leading with her maybe seduction and her mesmerizing, like womanly ways versus really making that connection, thinking that this seductress would make him fall. And I think he was like, yes, I will go in this direction, but give me more. And then maybe he didn't receive that. And so it was like, I just have to put this to bed because right now it's just an attractive option, but it's not giving me the depth I need or whatever. So
Yeah, I do agree with that. It was a lot of leading with her femininity and this like sultry vibe. Yeah,
yeah.
that's what she was. Yeah, she was giving that though.
A class on that.
Yeah, for real, that shoulder. But
I know, right?
but he did point that out very early on. Like the physical is there, but can we get there emotionally? And maybe that theme just kind of carried on throughout the season, where he just never felt like he could actually get there. And I think maybe because she was so like seductive, right, in that way, that maybe he was just like, if I keep giving this a chance, maybe we can get there. And it never
We never
did,
got
because in that regard, it was kind of like, why did you even bring her to Fantasy Suites?
there. I know, right? Right.
Now, I'm not even saying over Dina. I'm just saying, like, you already know that your top two is Juliana and Litia. That's very clear. So it's like, don't even waste Zoe's time when I don't think this extra week is going to do anything for you all. Especially when the one thing y'all need to do is talk and y'all have a silent date.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
So I was like, what the fuck is this? Like,
But
I felt disrespected for Zoe, quite honestly, in that moment. I was like, and this is the producers doing?
uh, I could
Yeah.
tell
I was
I could tell that like they when he was like, yeah, it was a little bit awkward when they were sitting. I was just like, this is not the relationship it's just not going to be what you want to come home to. And I'm not saying it about
yeah.
her. I'm saying about where they were. Like if they couldn't, I think maybe he did it purposely to, figure out like are we connected in a way that goes beyond words and da da da. I don't know. It missed the mark.
Yeah, and neither one of them liked yoga. They both said I don't do yoga.
Yeah.
So
I,
why that was the thing, I don't know. Everybody else got this nice, thrill-seeking, fun date, and here we go, sitting on each other's lap and don't want to be here.
I mean, that's a little intimate though. That's what I thought about. I thought it was gonna be like he picked it because he's like she's very sensual and like they'll be able to connect and it'll but it didn't seem like they connect.
Wrong read. As soon as she said, "Oh, yoga," I was like, "This is not about to go."
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, kudos to her for like studying it out. She was talking about her extensions or her hair is being flown all over the place, but
Yeah, yeah. She also had a very she had a nice like going away speech to Grant and like, you're a great guy, you're very empathetic. It reminded me of Dina a little bit and just like being very firm and like strong in what you want and confident, walking away from the situation.
Mhm, mhm.
Um,
But
yeah,
yeah,
but I think she probably knew too at the same
for
time.
sure. And I think like the way he said it at the end, it made perfect sense. He kept saying like, we just weren't there. We just weren't there. Like he said it. And I feel like that was very telling. Like what you said, like why did you bring her this far? But that's what makes me feel like he brought her that far because he really wanted there to be more because he was, I think, very attracted to her and very into this possibility, but also I think his body was leading, not to, to put it there, but I think it was he really was
Yeah,
attracted to her and he wanted the other stuff to pick up and it didn't pick up and he just had to cut the cord because it's like you at the end of the road where he has a connection with Litia that's really great and he seems to also have something with Juliana and so it's just yeah. But
yeah. I definitely agree. I was like, did he bring her here for the physical?
I don't know. But that's why I was like, I wish she hadn't. That's why, like, when I was looking at the fantasy, I was like, because this is my first time watching it. I was like, "There you go." I was like, I would have been like, let's see it. Because, like, what do you, like, you about to have sex with three women? Like, first of all, no.
Yeah,
First of all,
right.
no. Like,
Mhm.
no. Count me out. Count me out. I don't even care. Like, at a minimum, everybody STD tested, cool that level of like back BV bacteria exchange, like somebody gonna have a little bit of something, even if everybody don't have nothing. You get what I'm saying? Like the bacteria from or like your pH levels is gonna change. Three women in one is going to disrupt your vaginal flora. I am not doing that. Like not at
The
all.
energy is gonna disrupt. Like it's too much. Like I don't even like the fact that you literally jumped out of bed with her, and now we're going on a date this same morning, early afternoon. I literally was like, this is insane. So yeah, I definitely would have been like Latia. Sex is just off the
The
table.
table. Yeah. So I'm really glad but it looks like they still, because I was like, they should be able to stay in the fantasy suite together. I feel like, and it looks like that's what they did, right?
Yeah, they still stay. Yeah,
Yeah, because I'm like, you don't have to sleep with somebody to stay, but you just make it clear. And I think I think that was a very good thing for her because it's like it's not like you're gonna marry him tomorrow. You got an engagement. Y'all can explore that through the engagement. So
yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, yeah, let's move into Latia's date. Um, they first of all, when Latia met up with, they each got paired with an old Bachelor contestant.
Yeah.
And so when Latia was talking to, I don't know who the girl is, but the girl was like, "Yeah, he came in immediately 30 minutes into our date and told me that he had sex with two other women," and she was like, "He told you that?" At that moment, I was like, she was like, hell no, abort mission. I know she was already so anxious about it. So I feel like as soon as she heard that there's a possibility that Greg can come and tell me that he just had sex with two other women, I don't want any part.
It's probably like um on the whoever that Bachelor was that season, he probably was trying to call himself being forthcoming and not
Yeah.
having any secrets and things like that. But yeah, I mean, I would want to know, to be honest. Like, I would not be like Latia. I would be like, okay, so okay, I want to know. I want to know. That's
At your day, you don't want to know?
I would want to
Oh,
know. I want to know how are you
I'll be so
operating?
heartbroken.
I mean, it's but it's reality. It's like what is,
Yeah.
So it's like for me, I would want to know and I wanted to be able to assess that. And I would also just want to know, I guess, to be able to assess how I feel about it
Yeah.
and all and like what I feel about him and this process and you know, I can't say whether I would, be like, no, I'm not moving forward because of this. I probably wouldn't do that, but I just wouldn't also be on the show. So
Yeah.
I would want
No, but I get you though, right? Like it's making an uninformed decision, right? Like if you don't know, if you guys wait until after engagement. So yeah, I see where you're going with that
I
for
mean, I'm
sure.
saying like I just would want to know, period. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's just how I am. Like I'm the person who asks about exes and I want to know like, I'm that person. So
Yeah, I am too. My boyfriend will tell you today you asked way too many questions, but
yes, I've been told that as well. But
yes,
yes, here I
so
am.
yeah, so the educated ones over here, we ask, baby. And if anything is looking off, I'm gonna ask again and again and again and again and again. But
Yeah.
anywho, shout out to Ben. Yeah, I do get you though. I feel like knowing in that moment would help me make an informed decision, right?
Mhm.
Because if you are telling me, if I'm Latia, right, like you have very much so reassured me in this process. He has not reassured any other woman like he has Latia.
Yeah.
Latia, I went back and looked. Latia has been called first, second, or third, and it seems like first for most of the rose ceremonies. So
Mm.
all the other women know
Mhm.
Latia is your top runner. And
Mhm.
so knowing that, baby, I need to know that if you have these feelings for me, what were you willing to risk to just see what's up with this other girl? I need to know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And yeah. Yeah. But Latia's mom, I think in the past episode we were talking about just saying, deal with it, later on or
later.
because this
Yeah.
is the
Yeah.
process and let it play out.
Yeah. Yeah. But it seemed like they had well, again, the real Latia didn't seem like she was digging it too much. She said that her
Oh
stomach was
yeah.
queasy.
Yeah, it was interesting because I was like, did he pick this because he don't have fun with her? And he like, girl, we gotta have fun. And you giving me mother vibes, but are we vibing? You know what I mean? And so I'm wondering if he
Yeah.
that just because he doesn't maybe see himself as having as much fun with her as he could potentially have with Juliana. I don't know.
Yeah.
But she wasn't being super fun and thrilling with it. I will say that. He seemed to not notice.
Yeah, he didn't. I was cracking up. I was thinking about when I had said in another episode how Latia to me is so funny. And you were like, she ain't funny to me. And when they grabbed the harness and she was like, somebody, why is this wet? Somebody peed in this. Like, you didn't hear her say that when she was putting on the harness? I
No.
was cracking up. That girl is hilarious. She's funny.
Maybe that's what it is. I'm just missing all her jokes and stuff like that. But on
Yeah.
this episode, I will say this: I could see that she wasn't black this episode because she wore her hair back, and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I see it. I see.
Yeah. Yeah, she was not giving black women with the hair back. I actually, when she walked out, I said, "Moana, I'm always that drunk." When she walked out to go meet with the past bachelor, I literally was like, "This is Moana, honey. She is Fijian, baby. She is not black."
You a home girl. The daughter has returned because I did
Yes,
not, but it was in the Dominican Republic. But either way, I was
yeah,
like, it was tropical. But yeah, I could see that, and I was like I said before, I was like, when it's down, it looked like a 40 inch, you know. But when she pulled that thing back, I was like, okay, I see. It is you are not black, you know. I about to say full black
Yeah.
because Dre look a little something like he could be mixed himself. I don't know, but
Right, right.
either way, she's not black, and so that's interesting. But I was on that point with Zoe having gone. Zoe was the last black woman to leave. So there's no more black women. And so that's so disappointing. But you know, it
You
is
know that one meme that we made from when Samuel L. Jackson was Uncle Sam? And we was like, do not mess this up. Somebody literally commented last night. It was like, surprise, surprise. It's like, did they say this and
I
then come back to this
know.
today
If
for
they did,
this very
I
moment?
did. You know, like that's what I want. I want that dedication to be like, when this happens, I'm coming back to this.
Right.
But yeah,
But yes.
I'm still Latia's side. I'm like, you like something deep down in your
Yeah, it's ethnic.
somewhere. You see
Yes,
something.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm with Latia. It's enough. You know, I am rocking with Latia. Okay.
Yeah, I'm rocking with Lucia. I know, like at this point, we just like we the others, people of color, you have some kind of color,
Yes. Yes. Literally.
Juliana is not someone who I
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
super
Yeah.
excited
Yeah.
about. I am a little 50-50 on him right now. I'm gonna tell you that. Like I'm like 50-50. I feel like it might be there's a chance that Juliana might get this. And I also
Yeah.
feel so strong about his connection with Latia. So I'm unclear.
Yeah. Yeah. I think like you had said, I think in the last episode, when so many people are rooting behind someone, like it just gives you the feel that maybe there's some spoilers out there, or like something has been circulating that makes you feel like Juliana was the one that he chose. But my thing is, if Juliana is the one that he chose, watching this back it has to be the biggest gut punch. It
Yeah.
has to be. I could not watch this back and be any other woman on this show watching the way he connected with Latia.
Latia.
Latia and him connected surpassing words. If him and Latia did that yoga thing, it would have been.
Yeah.
I would have been like, I need to look away. Like they need to see.
Yeah.
They are so tuned into each other. So I still can't see it. And even after we can go into their date, even after the date that they had, the one on one, I still was like, what does he see in Juliana? I don't see it. They're not fun to me. They seem a little boring, besides the fact that she's just, like very just like girl next door, hey, but outside of that, I'm like, and it's not a knock on Juliana. She seems like she's a great person, but it's just she does not seem as mature as Latia to me,
Definitely.
emotionally,
Mhm.
and just overall, right? Like she doesn't seem as directed and intentional as Latia is, and so I don't see where the connection is. It seems like she would make a good girlfriend, but I
Mhm.
don't know if in this very moment she's given wifey.
I agree with that. I agree. I still feel like if he picks her, it's because he views her as like more versatile for for the all the aspects of life that he wants to experience, going out, partying, whatever. And I think he views Latia as like more in a box, maybe. That's
Yeah.
sort of where I am with that. But yeah, no, their date, it didn't capture my attention like at all. When they sat down for dinner or to eat or whatever, that part was interesting to me because it felt like she wanted to share with him about her past and her heart broken, but she was like, I don't want to break down or whatever. And I can't remember if she cried or if she didn't or whatever, but it was just giving like I'm not entirely healed from the situation because she seemed too emotional about it. But I'm not trying to say like nobody would be emotional about something happening like that, like someone cheating on you and doing all those different things. I guess what I'm just saying is like I feel like once it's been processed a little bit more, that there may be a little less of a instant reaction. But I don't know. You're the psychologist, so you might have a different take.
No, I agree. I
Okay.
agree. And that's why I said, like, emotionally, she doesn't seem as mature as
Mhm.
Latia, because I'm like, you are at a place where you want to be engaged to this man and you're afraid of whatever your past relationships have done to you, or,
Mhm.
affected you in a sense to where, like, it's almost something that you were afraid to reveal to Grant,
Mhm.
right? Versus Latia, she can say like, I haven't had the best time in my dating. I haven't gotten what I've wanted in the past, which is why I'm here, right? Like it's not being carried into. You can talk about your past, and it's important to talk about your past relationship going into something new, especially to this level where you're talking about engagement. But to be tearing up and like almost afraid, right, or like inhibited by the impact that it has on you, it was a reason for a pause to me, which I was
Mhm.
like, she doesn't seem like she might be ready for marriage in a sense.
Yeah, I guess she, like we were saying before, I think we said on a different recap, like some people can heal in the context of a relationship, but I just
Yeah.
wonder if the healed version of her would actually match with him, because I feel like just for all the reasons you said and the reasons that I said, like I think that she's when once she if she were to like completely process and this experience, that maybe she would not show up the way she is a little. It feels like she's like a whatever you need, I'm here.
Yeah.
Like she's a more permissive or passive.
Submissive, passive, submissive, and
Yeah.
timid. Like it's all those things.
And I wonder if she would be that outside of the context of some of the things that she's discussed. I don't know.
Yeah, but I also think that's part of why like Grant is drawn to her, right?
Yeah.
Grant loves this like I'm a hero, and like he
Because
even said on
he
the date like you
processed
can
trauma.
heal. Yes, he was like, you can heal in love, and I'm like, yes, you can. But if you are here with options, so why are we choosing the most broken option? I'm not saying Juliana is broken, but I feel like he is drawn to this idea of like, let me fix, let me
Mhm.
pull something together, let me
Mhm.
be the man that my father wasn't, and like break every chain. And I'm just like the I'm like, it this like toxic masculinity almost like is it in that bucket a little bit?
I don't like the term toxic masculinity, even
I
though
don't either.
I'm not calling you out for. I'm just saying as a because it perfectly describes some situations, but I just don't like the term because I do think it gives some guys feel a certain type of way about it. And I'm not talking about the guys who should feel a certain type of way about it. I mean just like
Yeah,
I don't know,
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
um I
Well, like for lack of better terms, like it just seems like it's in this idea of like this view of what masculinity has been placed
no,
on
I
men,
totally
especially
agree.
black men, right? Like of how you're supposed to show up for people. And I saw something so great the other day. Um, Men are taught how to treat women, right? But not what to expect from women.
Mhm.
And women are taught what to expect from men, right?
Mhm.
But we're not taught how to treat men. And I
Mhm.
think this is kind of like what's unfolding a little bit when you look at Juliana and Grant's
Mhm. Dynamic.
relationship.
Yeah, I totally agree with your assessment of this because, like, even I've experienced that with a lot of men. And I would say, when you say the black community, I think that we have to couple that with the fact that like there's a lot of historical trauma that's being passed down, a lot of stuff that's happening. Not only just what is it, epidemiology? Is that the term?
Yeah, it is. It's an
It
epidemic.
literally passes down in the genes, like, literally, it's
Yeah,
not, uh, woo-woo sci just a theory. It literally passes down certain, elements of trauma, and so you're dealing with that, and then you're also dealing with the actual effects of the trauma on the families, right? And so I feel like we see it a lot in Black men. They're experiencing this trauma, and I think they're trying to figure out, you know, who am I supposed to be for this situation? And so it's very well intended. Like Grant, great guy.
yeah,
He's trying to show up and be this person that he feels like he's been called to be because he doesn't see the example. And I think that has, like, in my personal life as a Black woman, I've seen that unfold many times with men who don't either have their fathers, or their fathers didn't have a father, and they I think they need to sometimes get into this space of also focusing on healing in a way
yeah,
that doesn't make them feel weak, doesn't make them feel like they're not um masculine and not bringing forth that positive energy, but there needs to be healing of these traumatic things. Otherwise you will show up and you're looking like, I think Juliana and Grant are matching on their brokenness, like literally matching on their
trauma
brokenness.
bonded.
Yeah. And if she were to heal, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, if she were to heal, she might not be a fit for the situation anymore. And if he were to heal, he might not be a fit for the situation. And so it's like they're by virtue of this, maybe kind of keeping themselves together. I know people probably like, y'all going too damn deep into the psychology of this dating show, but
No,
I
but it's so real. It's so real. And it's such a contrast that you see, even with him keeping Zoe, right?
Mhm.
It's almost like, and the thing about Zoe was is definitely right. Like in comparison, I'm not like comparing their stories, but in comparison, right, to this impact that your trauma has on you and how you're showing up in this specific Bachelor experience. Zoe is more healed than Juliana, right? Like in terms of, I'm not necessarily like breaking down
Oh, okay.
because of this, or like afraid, right? Or like feeling like I can't share, or I'm scared of how this is going to impact me, right? Like Zoe is like, this is my family. It's jacked up, right? But like I've created this new system for myself, and this is what I want to share with you.
Mhm.
These are the boundaries that I
Mhm.
have. I respect and love that you have tried, you forged a way with your father. Maybe
Mhm.
one day I can get there, right? It's almost like they would be a little bit more like accountable to each other to that
Yeah.
healing versus like sitting in it like Juliana
Yeah.
and Grant probably would, if that makes sense.
No, I can see what you're saying there. I hesitate to be like more healed or whatever just because of the aspect
Yes, yeah,
she's there's something about it also too that maybe like is detaching, or like there are certain parts that are
right.
good and there's other parts that feel like there may be
Absolutely.
more room. So I don't know, but I definitely can see your point with regard to like her having that like level of awareness about it all. And I think with Juliana, it's more of like, I was heartbroken, and this a person did this to me, and and not I'm not trying to mock her, not trying to mock her because
Right, 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 right,
had
right.
a lot of
Yeah.
situations, not a lot, but enough. You once is enough for people to break your heart, and
Okay.
like,
Period.
this is a problem. But also in healing, I think, is accountability in terms of self, and like, what, like she said they were there together for 7 years, like, and what was not saying accountability in terms of like she's to blame or anything like that, but just learning about yourself. I think moments like that teach you about yourself. They teach you about, where are my boundaries weak, what do I need to grow in terms of, because it's not just like say no to the bad guys. It's like a good guy can break your heart too. It's
Yeah.
about learning the lessons around boundaries, learning the lessons around vocalizing communication, like sitting with what you don't feel is right and calling people on it and being not afraid to have that confrontation. And so those are the things that I think when you come out of a bad relationship like that, that you have to pull out. And I wonder, have those things been pulled out for in her, or is she just looking for a knight in shining armor to be like, oh, you're the perfect guy, you would never do those things to me. But it's like, everybody, not saying everybody's capable of anything, but like, who
You
knows?
don't know.
You
Yeah,
don't
you don't know.
so you just have to
Yeah,
be you have to be you have to take your as women, I think we have to take our life, you know, um take control of our life and really just recognize this is what we're going to do, this is what we're not going to do, these are lessons I've learned from this relationship, so this is how I'm operating and this is what I'm not operating like. And I think if she has some of that, I haven't seen it a lot,
right.
so that's it, just seems like there's more to
Yeah,
unpack for her, but
yeah. But if he does choose Juliana, I do hope for her that she takes more of a front seat in the relationship and the direction that it goes. You
I can see
know,
it happening, but yeah.
yeah, I don't either, but I would hope that she could get there. But yeah, should we move into the small clip that we saw of Grant going home to his parents?
Yeah, because I did have a
Yes,
to say about the mom.
yes,
'Cause she
yeah,
said
yeah, yeah.
something, like first I'll go you go, because I was chit-chatting a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can start with the mom, because I was gonna. I don't know if you were gonna point out the clip where she said, "I'm asking you to move away from that."
Yes! Yes, I was like, "What's
I said,
happening?"
"Grandma has the pop in the chat, honey." And what did we say?
Are you talking about the religion piece of it? What were you
Yeah,
thinking? Okay, because you
yes,
understood yeah.
yes,
That's what I was thinking too. I was like, "Is this her talking about like because they haven't brought up the Mormon aspect at all. Like this to for it to be such a big thing, I haven't heard. I mean, of course, it could be producers not giving us those conversations, but what's the plan out? Like how do you want these kids to be raised, Lucia? Is it like in Mormon faith? What is it? Are y'all good with that? Are you good with that? Because grandma didn't seem like it just seemed like it could be the I'm asking you to walk away from that. And I don't know. That's
yeah,
go ahead cuz
yeah. I mean, that's the only thing that I could think could happen, right? Because Juliana and Litia, both great women. Like, what you as a mother, right, would be asking your son to walk away from in these situations? When you have two great women.
yeah. And personally, I feel like that's not cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I
that's
agree.
I didn't like if that's what's happening either way. Like I think the only thing you ask somebody to walk away from is someone who just doesn't like you don't feel like they have good character, like you felt maybe disrespected by the woman, like she came in and she wasn't respectful to you or something like that. But I'm like to ask somebody to walk away
Yeah,
even on
I
religion,
agree.
it's that's a big thing. That's a big
Yeah,
intrusion
it's a
into
big
their
ask.
life. And obviously
Y-
it contributes probably or not obviously, because maybe she says it and then maybe he's like, meet her first, and then she meets her and just like, oh, she's great. And then it's a nothing burger, right? But it seems like based on what we know about the final two, that it might have had like a big impact for him, you know?
Yeah, I agree. And also too, when you know that you are a mother who has a lot of influence, right, on the potential decision that your son is gonna make, that also makes it unfair, right? Like kind of give him the space to think about what he wants to do because ultimately it's his life. Like he has to live with this. And he has to watch this back. His kids have to watch this back and like be proud of how he conducted himself. And so I am hoping that it wasn't towards that. Like and if it was, that after, she meets the Tia, she's like 10 out of 10, spectacular.
Mhm.
But if it is not, I literally when I saw that I was like, oh, like this is probably why Grant had such a hard time because he is a mama's boy. He loves his mama. Like,
Do you think do they not meet the family? I thought like so our
yeah, they
Latia
will.
okay. So maybe
Yeah,
I
they're
mean
gonna
I
meet him.
can't imagine her seeing Latia and still having that reaction, you know?
Yeah,
But who knows? But I actually am ready and excited to see the finale. I know that I've not been the biggest Bachelor fan and like it's like this is my introduction season. But I'm actually interested to see because this is the real rubber meets the road right now. So
Yep,
I'm
yep,
excited
we
for
are
that.
here.
Yeah. We'll have
Yeah.
to figure out our filming schedule so we can get y'all like a hot take right off the presses.
Right. No, literally, literally. Yeah, we're
So,
gonna see. I'm right there with you. I'm excited to see how things unfold.
mm,
And whatever he chooses, I just hope in this very moment he is happy, and he
yeah.
feels worthy of love, and
Mm,
he is going after what he wants and not, looking to his past or his family's past to rewrite the story. Like, just write your own story. Point
yeah.
blank period.
Well, alrighty. That's it for this week, and see y'all next week for the last time for Bachelor. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can get notified as soon as the episode drops.
Yes.
Good
Bye,
night.
y'all.
Bye.